space to have those discussions.
In our course, there's a mixture of theory and field experience.
I think one key takeaway from Habib, for me, has to be open to learning. And I think when I say that, it's not just in terms of formal education and formal learning, but also being open to different perspectives.
I think whatever my faculty members have taught me, all of it is going to stay with me forever.
Charter and the chief guest. Do I just say the name or just say the chief guest? Because we're not naming
Just being back on campus and interacting with my peers and my teachers.
Meeting my friends because we could not meet for 2 years.
Not having to feel like, oh, I'm gonna get sick.
Not being stuck in my room, I can walk around. My friends are the best thing about being back on the campus. We could not meet for 2 years.
Not having to
It was like
feel like,
me
oh, I'm
being
gonna get
freshie
sick.
and just enjoying the Habib University spaces and the relationships that I had. How we ran together, we cried together, we laughed together.
I enjoy swimming, so
I think the get going to the gym and going to swimming, what was more easier for me?
in-person classes, discussions, and I enjoy
Because I think campus like reading instead of I've got lived experience.
I came back after the pandemic on campus and I made a lot of I think the best part about that, about Habib, is its diverse culture and the diversity of courses that we have. Being student at Habib gives you a lot of freedom to speak, to participate in sports, to basically present everything you have in your mind.
There is so much personal and professional growth that I have seen in myself in the past 4 years.
The best part about being a student at Habib is that you get to get access to the world's best faculty.
I get to play violin.
Essentially, what is that? It's such a diverse community.
For me, also the ability I can do a lot of things, a lot of my interests.
Best part about being a student at Habib is definitely the campus.
I think the best part about being a student is like you get to experience new things. Chaos. But it's the good kind of chaos, I would say.
Making the most out of it.
One word to describe my final year would be different.
Trial and error. I think that's how I would describe my senior year. Trial and error. Growth. I think that's how I would describe.
I would say it's pretty tough.
extremely scary.
Insightful.
I would say it's pretty tough.
Extremely scary.
Insightful.
I would say it's pretty tough.
Extremely scary.
Insightful.
Don't worry too much. I know that it sounds a bit overwhelming, but don't worry. You have everything here. People are supportive here.
Apply to jobs very early in their senior year, not wait for their last
I would say make the most out of it. Focus on your FYP, thesis, whatever you are doing. Along with that, do not, waste your time.
Think and understand and try to listen to other people.
Time will pass, so make it count.
I think it's a roller coaster ride. You'll have your ups and downs. You've got to brace yourself that things are challenging, but really no one is going to put the faith in you besides yourself.
Choose courses which intrigue
Really
you,
no
which
one is going to put the
interest
faith
you
in you
most.
besides yourself.
And don't choose courses because they are easy
no
or
one is gonna
you can
put
just
the
get a
faith in
good
you
GC
besides
out.
yourself.
And don't choose courses because they are easy or you can just get a good GC out.
Manage your time really well.
I'll say make the most of your last year.
Just spend time with your friends. Learn a skill. Learn sitar, per se. And, utilize the space and make memories that you might not be able to make again. It's very bittersweet.
I kind of don't want to leave over here because, it's a really important part of my life.
I'm kind of excited for the next part, but I'm also really, really sad. I think I'm going to cry at my graduation.
It's sad because I had spent 4 years here. I think I've really grown. I was not the same I was back then.
It's depressing, but at the same time, I'm also happy that I'm graduating from such a good institute.
I'm happy that it's over because I've worked so hard for this moment.
It feels great.
With the maturity and intellectual curiosity I have gained here at Habib, I realize now that I have more to go in life.
I think it was a good decision that I came to Habib.
I'm happy to start a new journey after Habib, but I'm also very sad because we actually missed 2 years of our lives in the pandemic.
I'm going out in the real.
Hello, testing.
Testing.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Mic check, mic check.
That we've had, the precious time we have spent,
and the irreplaceable moments that we have built together.
Our dearest faculty, the ones who have helped make us feel at home.
The ones who have been our mentors, friends, and family.
We are eternally grateful to you all and for all that you have done for us.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Abdullah Zafar, Research Assistant at Computer Science.
I am Nuruddin Merchant and I am leading Habib University Library in Information Commons.
मेरा नाम साजिद हुसैन है। मैं हबीब यूनिवर्सिटी में एज ए सितार टीचर यहाँ पर होता हूँ।
मेरा नाम कासिम है और मैं हबीब यूनिवर्सिटी में जिम इंस्ट्रक्टर हूँ।
माय नेम इज़ वसीम रज़ा। आई एम ए फ्रंट डेस्क ऑफिसर लाइब्रेरी।
रॉबर्ट कैफेटेरिया। जानते हैं आप सब,
जितनी देर बच्चे रहे हमारे साथ बहुत अच्छे रहे, बहुत अच्छा रवैया, हमारा ख्याल करते थे।
हमने भी 2 साल तक कोई कन्वोकेशन कोरोना में नहीं देखा था, तो इस दफ़ा पूरा यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए बड़ा ऑनर है कि हम लाइव ये बच्चों के खुशियों में और काम करते हुए कन्वोकेशन सेलिब्रेट करेंगे।
स्टूडेंट जो अभी ग्रेजुएट होकर जा रहे हैं उनके लिए मैं बहुत खुशी भी है और गम भी है। गम इसलिए है कि हमें छोड़ के जा रहे हैं और खुशी इसलिए है कि वो अच्छी जगह जाएंगे, हमें याद भी रखेंगे।
बहुत अच्छा वक्त गुजार है, सलाम दुआ हर चीज़ें।
मैं उनको आगे फ्यूचर के लिए ये एडवाइस करना चाहूँगी कि ऑलवेज़ वर्क हार्ड, बी कंसंट्रेट ऑन योर फ्यूचर और हमेशा इसी तरह सबकी रिस्पेक्ट करें, सबसे मोहब्बत करें।
बैच ऑफ 2022 बेस्ट ऑफ विशेस, हमेशा फिट रहें और ख़ुद को अच्छा रखें।
लाइफ इज़ टफ जस्ट लाइक वाटर बट जस्ट कीप स्विमिंग इन इट।
हेल्दी एक्टिविटी को अपनी लाइफ के अंदर बहुत एक्टिव रहना चाहिए और रखना चाहिए। बाकी ये है कि जो आपका फ्यूचर है वो दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
They come, they grow, they kind of like work on themselves, and now they have been passing out. It's not about just a graduation of academic, it's a graduation of their own self as well in terms of developmentally.
मैं मुस्तकबिल के लिए उनको बहुत ज़्यादा बेस्ट विशेस कहता हूँ और यकीन रखता हूँ कि वो आगे बहुत कामयाब होंगे।
For most of our students, I realize they consider library their second home on campus. I believe they have very good memories attached with the Austin Hall, Information Commons and the discussion areas, and they are going to miss it.
I cherish the friendships that I've made from this batch. I wish them all the best in all their future plans.
It is an honor for me to be a part of their academic journey. I feel really happy to see you all graduating and
seeing that how these 4 years have transformed you into a well-rounded individual.
There are a lot of funny and memorable memories with the batch of 2022. I would like to congratulate class of 2022 on their graduation.
I have taught them in their first semester and then in their last semester. They are very brilliant students and I can see the difference.
शौक और जज्बा हो तो हर चीज़ आ जाती है. इसमें थोड़ी सी हिम्मत करनी पड़ती है कि ये है स्ट्रिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट.
और माशाल्लाह वो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. वो सितार भी अच्छा बजा रहे हैं, वायलिन भी अच्छा बजा रहे हैं, तबला भी और वोकल्स भी बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं माशाल्लाह.
सारे बच्चे अच्छे हैं. इस कॉन्वोकेशन में परफॉर्म भी कर रही हैं वो, तो आप लोग देखेंगे उनको बड़ा अच्छा कर रहे हैं. तो इनकी भी यादें ही हमारे साथ रहेंगी जब चले जाएंगे ये.
I would like to wish them good luck for their future.
सबको खास मुबारकबाद.
I want to wish them a good luck.
For all the students who are graduating this year, I wish you all the best.
जहाँ भी जाएं खुश रहें. Best of luck.
Best of luck. अल्लाह उनको खुश रखे.
So all the best. Good luck.
I wish them all good luck.
I wish you all the best.
कोशिश है कि ये हर ज़िंदगी में कामयाब हों.
तो इन सबको हम अपने तरफ से दुआएं भी देते हैं और जो है इन सबको हम अपने तरफ से सलाम भी देते हैं.
Best of luck for all of you class of 2022.
All the best, graduate 2022.
The first of many journeys concluded in 2018. It celebrated the long trek made by the co-founders as they ventured through new, uncharted territories. The first to push past barriers to explore the fields of interdisciplinary studies. Following them, the pioneers charted their own paths, full of passion and insight, each step forward leading them to exciting new adventures. Next in line, the trailblazers forged ahead with determination and ambition, lighting their paths. Even when faced with difficulties, they remained steadfast. The pathfinders also found their footing, seamlessly adjusting to the changing world even amidst uncertain times. Each batch has been a co-writer of Habib University's history, prepared to experiment, challenge, and recreate existing structures. Now, another chapter comes to a close as we prepare to bid farewell to the batch of 2022 and encourage them for the journey ahead.
I wanted to do something fun in my life, and when I get to know about the degree communication and design, I felt like this is it. This is what I want to do in my life.
It was more mature in terms of technology than any other university that I had discovered.
Well, I came here by accident, but I'm actually very happy I did because I really learned to love my degree.
It will give me a holistic kind of view, so that's why I decided to come to Habib.
I really drew towards social development and policy when I read the curriculum.
Apart from the well-designed course, it's definitely the faculty members.
The first thing that made me choose Habib was the 100% scholarship that I got.
The environment.
I think it's the diversity. It's where I felt safe. Diverse, open, accepting.
We don't judge each other.
If you're different, no one really cares about your different.
Everybody is welcomed. Everybody's opinion is welcomed.
Very open.
Extremely open and diverse.
Very tight-knit community. A lot of togetherness and everyone had each other's back.
It's just so easy to talk to anybody about your problems or issues, or just sit with anybody, do a peer study, study buddy hours and stuff like that.
We have a very strong sense of community.
मैं बहुत ज़्यादा इंट्रोवर्ट था. मैं फर्स्ट ईयर मैंने अपने ही 5-6 दोस्तों के ग्रुप में गुजारे, और फिर उसके बाद मैं सोचा कि भाई जैन तुम यूनिवर्सिटी आए हो या 1000 बच्चे हैं तो वैसे बात करो, So I was doing that and I realized that, you know, it's a lot easier than I thought it was.
Very understanding and supportive of each other no matter what the issue is. All the students are considered an important stakeholders in different arenas of the student life.
All of the students are willing to help each other at any moment.
I could kind of see how collaborative everybody was with one another, how friendly they were with each other. Respectful and very woke.
Whenever there's a crisis, we know we have each other's backs.
It's really amazing. I have never seen a community like this.
It's a very friendly, welcoming environment.
We have students from various different backgrounds.
Everybody is accepting of who you are, of your identity.
Really united.
I'd say that in my first semester I was very shy and I wasn't really sure how I could present myself in front of people. So I think the major credit goes to my professors and the way they handled me and the way they encouraged me to be more confident in who I was.
I have been more independent. Other than that, I have also changed as a human being.
I think I have like more intellectual understanding of things around me.
I have come out of my comfort zone and, you know, I know how to express myself properly over here.
I've changed in a lot of ways. I've become more accepting of others. I've learned to appreciate differences. I've learned to understand differences.
I've definitely changed as a person because I've become more aware of my surroundings and what I'm supposed to do. And in that regard, I'm very grateful and in debt to Habib.
So I feel like things kind of fall into place when you're like at this stage, but when you're in your third year or second year, it's like all over the place and it's very hectic.
I think the accepting culture over here is probably the most beneficial takeaway right now.
Excellent.
You should always listen to others. You should always respect their thoughts.
Having a very broad discussion that usually other people might not really open up to that discussion. Habib is a safe space to have those discussions.
In our course, there is a mixture of theory and field experience.
I think one key takeaway from Habib for me has to be open to learning. And I think when I say that, it's not just in terms of formal education and formal learning, but also being open to different perspectives.
I think whatever my faculty members have taught me, all of it is going to stay with me forever.
Just being back on campus and interacting with my peers and my teachers.
Meeting my friends because we could not meet for 2 years.
Not having to feel like, oh, I'm gonna get sick.
Not being stuck in my room, I can walk around.
My friends are the best thing about being back on campus.
We can collaborate more in in-person mode.
It was like me being a freshie and just enjoying the Habib University spaces and the relationships that I had here.
How we ran together, we cried together, we laughed together.
I'm back to my normal.
Meeting my friends.
I enjoy swimming, so swimming.
I think it's the Zen garden.
Going to gym, going to swimming.
Work was more easier for me.
In-person classes, discussions, and auditorium.
Even though the online teaching methods worked really well, but at the end of the day, it was nothing compared to the in-person teaching experience.
Busy life of campus, I really miss that.
Just have that lived experience.
I came back after the pandemic on campus and I played a lot of sports.
Being around human beings rather than screens and boxes.
I think the best part about Habib is its diverse culture and the diversity of course subjects that we have over here.
Being student at Habib gives you a lot of freedom to speak, to articulate your thoughts, to basically present everything you have in your mind.
There is so much personal and professional growth that I have seen in myself in the past 4 years.
The best part about being a student at Habib is that you get to get an access to the world-class faculty.
Best part is exposure, right? And the fact that we can actually talk about our own thoughts and we're allowed to express our thoughts in Habib.
I get to play violin.
Essentially was interacting with such a diverse community.
For me also, it's also the ability I can do a lot of things, a lot of my interests. Best part about being a student at Habib is definitely the campus.
I think the best part about being a student is like you get to experience new things.
chaos, but it's the good kind of chaos, I'd say.
Making the most out of it.
One word to describe my final year would be crescendo.
Trial and error. I think that's how I will describe my senior year, trial and error.
Growth. Bittersweet.
I would say it's pretty tough.
Perfect.
Extremely scary.
Insightful.
I would say hopeful.
Don't worry too much. I know that it sounds a bit overwhelming, but you have everything here. People are supportive here.
Apply to jobs very early in their senior year, not wait for their last semester to come in.
I would say make the most out of it. Focus on your FYP, thesis, whatever you are doing. Along with that, do not, waste your time.
Think and understand and try to listen to other people.
Time will pass, so make it count.
I think it's a roller coaster ride. You'll have your ups and downs. You've got to brace yourself that things are.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we please request you to take your seats. Before we begin, may I request you to please turn your mobile phones on silent. In case of an emergency, the exit is located at the back of the venue. Facilities for children under the age of 6 and for medical emergencies are also available. Washrooms are on the lower ground level. Please ask ushers close to you for any assistance, and they will be more than happy to help.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manay Loda, and I'm a lecturer and Dean's Fellow in the School of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. And my colleague, Dr. Waqar Salim, is an associate professor in the Dhanani School of Science and Engineering. Welcome to Habib University Convocation 2022.
Habib University was founded in 2014 and is the first of its kind liberal arts and sciences university in Pakistan, with the vision of bringing about a transformative change to the educational landscape of Pakistan. This year, we graduate our 5th cohort, a truly inspirational group of graduates who have had to show incredible amount of resilience, determination, and agility to adapt. These qualities have shown through as they persevered and worked diligently in the face of the uncertainty resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Habib University encourages academic freedom and exchange of ideas, and is committed to providing world-class undergraduate education to students from diverse backgrounds. The university does this by utilizing the expertise of accomplished scholars in this state-of-the-art campus and an interdisciplinary curriculum geared to making Habib University students reflective, lifelong learners.
Shaykh is saying. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession is about to enter. The procession is led by the registrar and is formed in the following order. The procession is led by the registrar and is formed in the following order. Graduating students, faculty members, assistant deans, the associate dean, Interim Vice President, Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, board members, President, the Chancellor, and the chief guest, Mr. Zia Mohyuddin.
To begin the proceedings of the Habib University Convocation 2022, I would like to request Anas bin Yusuf, a computer science major from the class of 2025, for recitation from the Holy Quran and translation in English and Urdu.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, have we not opened up for you your breast, and we removed from you your burden, which had weighed down your back, and we exalted for you your renown. So indeed, along with hardship, there is ease. Indeed, along with hardship, there is ease. So when you have finished your duties, then stand up for worship, and to your Lord turn your attention. शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो बड़ा मेहरबान नहायत रहम वाला है। ए नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, क्या नहीं खोल दिया हमने तुम्हारी खातिर तुम्हारा सीना, और हमने उतार दिया तुम पर से तुम्हारा बोझ, जिसने झुका दी थी तुम्हारी कमर, और हमने बुलंद किया तुम्हारी खातिर तुम्हारा जिक्र। तो बेशक मुश्किल के साथ आसानी भी है, बेशक मुश्किल के साथ आसानी भी है। सो जब तुम फारिग हुआ करो तो इबादत में मेहनत किया करो और अपने रब की तरफ मुतवज्जे हो जाया करो। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम।
Jazakallah. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request you to please rise for the national anthem. Performing the anthem is the Habib University Orchestra, led by Yusuf Kirai, Founding Director, Center for South Asian Music.
Pakistan अंतरिक्ष में सितारों हियार रहबरे तरक्कियों का मान तर्जुमाने माज़ी शाने हाल जाने इस्तक़बाल साये खुदाए ज़ुल्जलाल.
Please be seated. May I request Mr. Rafiq Habib, Chancellor of the Habib University, to please declare the convocation formally open.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I declare the 2022 Habib University Convocation open.
Thank you, Chancellor. There is a long-standing custom that a member of the graduating class represents all the graduates and shares with the audience glimpses of their journey through university life and their aspirations for the future. May I request Hiba Shoaib to please come on stage to deliver the Valedictorian Address.
Good evening and adab. First of all, I think all of us should take this moment and be grateful for the fact that finally, after riding several COVID waves for about 2 years, we are here today to celebrate an in-person convocation ceremony for the graduating class of 2022. I am deeply honored and excited to welcome you all without having to worry about stable internet connectivity and technology issues. Respected Chancellor Rafiq M. Habib, board members, President Rizvi, distinguished guests, faculty members, staff, parents, and my fellow graduates. It's a privilege to represent a class that has demonstrated sheer strength and resilience in the face of a global pandemic and against all odds emerged fairly unscathed. For nearly 4 semesters, we studied remotely and adapted to online platforms. Every time we thought we were returning to campus, another COVID variant pushed us back to the awkward Zoom breakout rooms. Here, I sincerely apologize to all my lovely professors for all those times when they had to teach the black boxes on screen when we were sleeping through our 8:30 classes in the morning. Thank you, professors, for your patience, truly. But with that, I must also say that in these menacing times, it is the Yosin values that pulled us through and allowed us to see things through a lens of compassion. And I therefore thank the President and my faculty members for providing us with an ethos that pushes us to live responsibly and thoughtfully. To the faculty members, we all will remember all the inspiring courses and exciting courses you've taught to us. Thank you for motivating us even on our lowest days, for taking out the time to individually speak with us, and for building relationships that for many of us are going to last forever. Let us also remember our very own late Dr. Asif Farooqi, a literary giant who always encouraged us to believe in our dreams, no matter how big. Now, to my peers. I still cannot believe that 4 years have gone by this fast. It feels like just yesterday when we were anxiously waiting in queues on our first day of orientation. We were here from 8 in the morning till 6:30 in the evening, nearly every day. And over these 4 years, we crossed one hurdle only to find ourselves in another harder challenge. We submitted one essay on a Friday only to start preparing for an exam on a Saturday. We underwent countless approval procedures for a course only to find out that it's been cancelled. But look at yourselves and think of all the stressful enrollment phases you survived, venting sessions you had, games you played, countless plates of Farhan biryani you consumed, and the umpteen visits you made to the dhaba right across the road. We've all evolved. We've had our ups and downs. We've cried, we've laughed, we've fallen, we've risen. We've failed exams, but we have accomplished far more. We've often even doubted if we get this far, but I am proud to say that we have done it and have graduated together once again. When I began my journey here, I could have never imagined the strides I would make, nor where I am today, and the way Habib curriculum and the liberal core has broadened my vision. I still quite remember the look of utter dismay on my DSSC friends' faces when they were asked to write a 2,500-word essay in Redcom. And I'm certain it was not any different for my friends from the humanities schools when we had to study, including myself, for our weekly data analytics quizzes. But now, think of how these courses have challenged you in ways that you never thought were possible, so that today you stand at the cusp of infinite opportunities. Something sad, yet truly exciting about our lives is that now there is no longer going to be a core curriculum to teach us about the world and ourselves. The world itself is an elective for us now. So let us embark on it and make history. And I really hope that as we do that, we all will live a life rooted in the values and teachings taught to us, and that we carve out solutions for this ailing world, solutions that are fair, eco-friendly, and inclusive. And lastly, I thank the caretaking and the management staff who work day and night to keep our campus running efficiently. To our families and guardians for supporting in our education and for believing in us. And of course, to our Rahim Bhai for feeding us with mayo garlic fries on days when we could not afford the cafeteria food. Something I seriously admire about Habib is its communal culture. Before arriving here, we all came from different schools and backgrounds. At first, we formed predictable groups, but over time, we cultivated and formed meaningful connections outside our cliques. So as we fought each other on the basketball court, logged horns in debate competition, shared differing opinions in the classroom, we learned to respect each other, support each other, and most importantly, learn from each other. So, what's it going to be like in the real world? Well, surely no more Habib ke kabutars waiting up in the corner to ruin your outfit. But beyond that, I honestly don't recommend it, because this place has indeed been a home and a safe haven for all of us. So class of 2022, go out, stay true to yourself, and create your own path forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Heba. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to call on Mr. Wasif Rizvi, founding president, Habib University, to share his thoughts with us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salam and Adab. As promised, finally there is a written speech. Honorable Chief Guest, the legendary Zia Mohiuddin Sahib, who is also the founding president of the National Academy of Performing Arts. And on top of that, he is also Sitara Hilal-e Imtiaz. हमारे एस्ट्रोफिजिसिस्ट जितनी भी जिद कर लें, पाकिस्तान में सितारा हिलाल से हमेशा छोटा रहता है. So Hilal-e-Imtiaz actually is a bigger honor than the Sitara. Habib University's Chancellor Rafiq Habib, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Board of Directors of Habib University Foundation, esteemed members of the faculty of Habib University, parents, guests, and of course, university's 5th graduating batch, our class of 2022. Welcome. Let me start by congratulating our tireless Convocation committee for hosting such a wonderful event, especially achieving a remarkable 20 degrees change in the temperature, which allowed for us to change out of our shorts and banyans and to wear this regalia. Thank you, Convocation Committee. Apart from today, multiple live and virtual events have been organized as part of our graduation week. Our convocation is being live streamed across various platforms. A shout out to Habib University's own ISPR, yes, I stole that term, our marketing and communication team, and our technology team. Thank you. Dear class of 2022, there has been a budding tradition of 2 gratitudes at Habib University. The actual gesture of these gratitudes has been subdued due to 2 virtual convocations. These gratitudes bookend your journey at Habib University. In your case, you offered this gratitude on August 20th, 2018, when I requested you to stand up and acknowledge your parents, guardians, supporters who enabled you to be part of higher education, an opportunity which only exists for 5% of global population of your age. And today, 3 years, 9 months, and 16 days later, all of you have the privilege of giving thanks and showing gratitude to 2 distinguished groups of remarkable people who made your journey possible and who made your journey purposeful. Mohsineen and supporters of Habib University, and of course our inspirational faculty. May I please request all of you to stand and acknowledge the amazing contributions of our Mohsineen and our faculty. فَآتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ ثَوَابُ الدُّنْيَا وَحُسْنَ ثَوَابُ الْآخِرَةِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. This is the ayat which is etched at the entrance of Habib University to serve as a permanent reminder of all the help, mentoring, and support given to you during your journey at Habib University and a journey of Yohsan. There's also a strategic linguistic reason for me to read something in Arabic, because all of our English, Urdu, Farsi, maybe even French will sound pitiful once Zia Sahab will deliver his speech. So one has to take refuge behind Arabic. This strategy may backfire though, because it won't be a surprise if Zia Sahab starts reading Farazdaq instead of Ghalib, just to teach me a lesson. Zia Sahab and his work represents rare and unique groundedness, which many centuries ago allowed our thinkers an independent view of our own literature, our own art, of our own thoughts, of our own social structures, of our own view of reality and the universe, from the point of view of our own civilization. This point of view is all but near extinct by now. The sum of the last 4 centuries is a litany of many types of genocides. In the midst of these genocides of continents of humanity, truly devastating phenomena is mass epistemicide. Now, many of our students would know that epistemicide refers to the destruction of existing knowledge when violence against humanity is cynically combined with violence against indigenous knowledge of cultures, cosmos, and of the natural world. In view of this ceaseless epistemicide, a broad epistemic reparation is at the heart of Habib University's pedagogical mission. While this remains a daunting work in progress, Habib University is indebted to the efforts of our founding faculty to advance this mission of our institution rapidly in the short span of mere 8 years. Thank you, founding faculty. However, in the past few years, the challenge of pursuing our mission has become exponentially harder, especially when the recent pandemic unmasked and accelerated the horrors of globally devastating disinformation, the intractable and metastatic infodemic. This metastasis is far more malignant than any other form of cancer discovered before. Because it doesn't attack any physical organ, this one goes after our core faculty of cognition and consciousness by reducing us to a maniacal performer in our own theater. अपने जलवे के हम तमाशाई हैं, आईने सब ने लगा रखे हैं दीवारों पर. And in our case, आईने, iPhones, galaxies, webcams, just to be a tamashai of our own jalwa. But it's far more perverse and horrifying because this tamasha calls for humiliation and annihilation in order to be more viral. साहिल के तमाशाई हर डूबने वाले पर अफसोस तो करते हैं, इमदाद नहीं करते. Class of 2022, in these 4 years, you have acquired frighteningly powerful skills to excel in this infodemic. But more importantly, you have sharpened your critical insight to understand and navigate it. Your ability to prevent from becoming another victim of this infodemic will crucially depend on this insight and awareness. It is one simple but unimaginably hard way to retain this awareness. It reminds me of this fable which was quoted by David Foster Wallace of three fish. दो नौजवान मछलियां एक तरफ तैरती हुई जा रही थीं and they encountered a slightly older मछली. And the older मछली asked them, "How is the pani today? How is the water?" वो अपने अपने रास्ते पे तैरती चली गई. थोड़ी दूर जाकर छोटी मछलियों ने एक दूसरे से पूछा कि ये पानी क्या भला है? What the hell is water? You are about to enter the muddy waters of the so-called great outside world, the world of wanting and of winning and of displaying. Your consciousness and awareness of these sickening forces in our ailing world is the real value of your education at Habib, which has almost nothing to do with knowledge and everything to do with simple awareness. Awareness of what is so real, so essential, so hidden in plain sight all around us all the time, that we have to keep reminding ourselves over and over, this is water, this is water. I wish you a wonderful life, always guided by yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rizvi.
May I request the Interim Vice President, Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, Dr. Amir Hassan, to do the honor of introducing our convocation speaker. May I remind the audience to please keep their phones on silent.
Chancellor Rafiq M. Habib, Board of Governors, Board of Directors, President Wasif Rizvi, honored guests, members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and adab. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker. But before I do that, I would request, if you haven't done so already, to please switch off your cell phones or at least put them on silent. Thank you. A living legend in his own time, our keynote speaker this evening is a man of many extraordinary talents. In a career spanning well over 5 decades, he has acted, directed, and produced numerous plays besides being a master orator. With a deep-rooted passion, his work has immense cultural and literary standing. His command over language, be it Urdu, English, or Punjabi, is remarkable. He is the founding president of the National Academy of Performing Arts and was awarded Sitare Imtiaz in 2003 and Hilal-e Imtiaz in 2012, and the list goes on and on and on. A perfectionist with unparalleled spectrum in his recitations, moving between literary genres with matchless ease and mastery. One moment, he can make anyone laugh as he recites humorous passages from Ibn Insha, and at the other extreme can captivate through his mesmerizing renditions of Ghalib and Faiz. I am so confident with his gifted voice, he could read to Habib students any dreadful book on calculus and make it sound like poetry. They say his voice is worth a profile by itself, and leveraging poet Ahmad Faraz, सुना है बोले तो बातों से फूल झड़ते हैं, सुना है बोले तो बातों से फूल झड़ते हैं, ये बात है तो चलो बात करके देखते हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to request Mr. Zia Muhyiddin to deliver the keynote address.
Distinguished academia, Board of Governors, Board of Directors, ladies and gentlemen. I am frequently dubbed as a classicist. I do not mind this, even though I know that the implication is that I belong to a breed conservative in nature, thoroughly insensitive to all modern endeavors, and blind to the world of computer. It speaks volumes for the anti-intellect culture which is spreading all around us, that classics and classicism are now considered to be disparaging words, and classicism is antiquated and old-fashioned, appreciated only by old fogies like myself. The loss of intellect is one of the most damaging aspects of our existence today. Intellect and intellectuals have become disparaging words. We seem to regard intellectuals as highfalutin, impractical people. When we discard classicism, we also discard not only the heritage of our own sources of inspiration, because we think that in this changing world of ours, we must not hark back to the past. What is classicism? What is classics? If I were to be flippant I would quote Alan Bennett and say, classics is a book that everyone is supposed to have read, and which they often think that they have read it themselves. Seriously though, classics is not a 3-year highly scholastic course in Latin and Greek at Oxford or Cambridge. Dictionaries would tell you that it pertains to Greek art and literature, Greek and Latin art and literature. Mercifully, the concise Oxford tells us that it can be outstandingly important. I would like to submit to you that any creative work of the past, be it sculpture or poetry, drama, or architecture, which stimulates the depth of our imagination, is classic. And so, I think the Parthenon and the stupas of Sanchi are classic. And Milton's Paradise Lost is classic. And the poetry of Ghalib is classic. Because classics is not the sole prerogative of the West. Some people who have read my book, The God of My Idolatry, gain the impression that I was brought up on Shakespeare. This is far from true. My father, after retirement, sometimes used to take me along on his evening walks. We would walk on dusty tracks which stretched for miles beyond our solitary house in Model Town in Lahore. And then suddenly, flicking a leaf or a stone with his walking stick, my father would intone, "Oh, what a rogue am I." Why he omitted "and peasant slave am I don't know. But I went along everywhere, merrily declaiming, "Oh, what a rogue am I," always imagining a rogue to be an old man with a walking stick. You could say that this was my first tentative introduction to Shakespeare. Other than I have bedimmed the noontide sun, which he tossed at my mother when he was in one of his jovial moods, my father was not in the habit of quoting Shakespeare at home. My mother, who knew no English, would cover up her face with her veil and giggle silently. I always thought it was a joke. It was not until I got enrolled at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London that I realized that it was not a joke, but a quote from Shakespeare's Tempest. Now, I got hooked on Shakespeare when I first saw Richard Burton's Hamlet at the Old Vic, way back in the early 50s. Was it his voice that mesmerized me? Or was it the energy that he exuded? I don't know. But he created magic. And I remember making a vow to myself that I must get a better acquaintanceship with Shakespeare. Shakespeare is a wonderful example of classicism. Well, Renaissance classicism, if you like. The Greek myths are one of the most common ways that classics first come to our notice. These tales had been recounted throughout the ancient literature, not only in Greek tragedy, but also in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. These tales also had an implication when the Romans told these tales. When we talk about Midas's golden touch, or when we talk about Epicure, or when we talk about why Eurydice was salvaged, we then think that all these references have been told in excellent epics and drama and poetry. I would beg your indulgence to be allowed to take this off, or else it would fall and I would die with shame. A great deal of theorizing has gone into the accounting for these myths, especially in the 20th century. The story of Oedipus gave Freud a lifeline. He announced to the world that the working of human psyche was largely rooted in the incest of Oedipus with his mother after he killed his own father. He gave us the term Oedipus complex, and a substantial part of the world has since looked upon all familial engagements and estrangements only in the light of the Freudian mantra. Bacchus and Epicure and their interpretations have proliferated throughout the world. Our experience of classics is variably influenced by those who have gone before us. We experience classics in the light of what previous generations have said and thought and written about the ancient world. Part of the contemporary appeal of classics is the way in which ancient writers confronted traditions of their own world. In their works, we get to know what we now call multiculturalism of their own societies. Classics do not simply enlighten us, they also jolt us out of our erroneous perceptions of certain epochs. A splendid example is that of Sultan Muhammad Tughlaq, who ruled India for 26 years, 700 years ago. And we read in our textbooks that Tughlaq was a most accomplished calligrapher, well-versed in Persian poetry, who also had a thorough knowledge of mathematics, logic, physics, and Greek philosophy. But when we turn to Ibn Battuta, part of our own classics, whose antecedents as a historian are as valid as Herodotus, we discover that, contrasting with all these brilliant qualities, there was a dark side to him which made him into a terrible tyrant and incomprehensible. Classicism does not give birth to culture. It is the other way round. Our culture is a forbidding word, but I know of none better to describe the beautiful words and marvelous objects which men have created and have handed down to us, and which some of us hope to hand on. In the last 75 years, there have been a great deal of argumentations about culture in our country. Is culture the outcome of a whole way of life? Or is it simply the selected highlights of a society's most intellectually and artistically enlightened citizens? Is it the best of a civilization? Or is it a conglomeration of disparate antagonistic forces which reflect disintegration and divisiveness of a society at a given period, like the one we are living in right now? In our part of the world, no two people can ever agree on the definition of culture. Does culture generate sensibility and taste? I doubt it. It is true that when culture becomes a mode of perception, concepts like sensibility and taste evolve. But in countries like ours, dominated by ideological and demagogic concerns rather than cultural concerns, individuals alone worry about matters like taste. In our society, the taste that we profess publicly is more often than not in conflict with what we cherish in our privacy. Let me illustrate. We don't really mind if some of our misguided young men become involved in the learning of music, but we take an exception if our young women show such leanings. True, some middle and upper middle class people, girls, show an interest in the learning of music, and their parents, grudgingly or willingly, employ male tutors to visit their homes, but they do so only to indulge their daughters' fondness for music. Music is not something that a girl from a respectable, quote-unquote, family is allowed to pursue professionally. The fact that the condition of being a male or female determines the form of culture we are allowed to imbibe. The problem lies with the word professional. It has been embedded into our psyche that the profession of music and dance belongs to a different breed of people, a breed with whom the decent folk, quote unquote, have no truck. We deplore publicly female dancing on stage, but we drool privately when we see mujras in the drawing rooms of the so-called upper classes. Seminars on culture are fussy, time-wasting procedures. We shall never resolve anything unless we understand that what constitutes our culture includes a relish of pursuits that become forbidden from time to time. We refuse to accept that our culture has also been culled out of the multi-civilizational ethos of South Asia. If this leads to a kind of hypocrisy, then that too is a part of our cultural makeup. No matter what the strictures, we shall always derive a thrill out of atavism. In the dark decade of the 1980s, the official seminars on our social behavior were all about rooting out the insidious foreign elements which it was believed had crept into our so-called culture. The dictator who ruled us for 10 years and his jingoistic accomplices felt that the slightest whiff from across the border would shatter our faith and annihilate our ideology. Such bigotry is again rising its head. in my own work, ladies and gentlemen, that I undertake to transcend my own inadequacies, my work being interpretations and projections of other people's thoughts, I keep making forays into the past. You could say that it is a monument to the past, but a monument suggests a gravestone, cold and immutable. I like to think that my work reflects the play of sunlight and rain. I hope that my work enables them to stray into a past that was not mute, but vibrant. The past is not all repression and internecine struggles and subdued status of women. The past, for me, is beautiful gardens laid out in symmetry. The past, for me, is exceedingly refined musical soirees. I do not mean to imply that I regard modernism to be destructive of the old traditional culture. The old traditional culture was full of cruelties and injustices, but it was a pattern of life known and understood, and therefore more acceptable than the hodgepodge mannerism that we call our urban culture. Our cultural outlets are limited. In most of the cities, a large number of people go out in the evening in search of cuisine and not culture. A new phenomenon is a steady growth of guitar-based bands which sing local songs in the mode of Western pop music. And they do draw a fairly large audience of youngsters. We also have the so-called classical music concerts every year. I say so-called because most of the audience goes on chattering and munching, walking in and out of a concert. To draw their attention, the musicians begin to cheapen their performance. Even some of the maestros, hungry for applause, resort to a display of technical dexterity. Tihaiyon pe tihaiyan, tihaiyon pe tihaiyan, tore pe tora, tore pe tora. The crowd is thrilled and claps and whistles unendingly as though they were at a pop concert. For a sensitive listener, it is agonizing. Language, the way it is manipulated and articulated, invigorates me. I have always put a great deal of emphasis on the way a language is spoken. Perhaps it is because of my training as an actor, but diction has a great importance for me because I think clear and proper speech, no matter what the language, is extremely necessary because it also means clarity of thought in some way. I am an avid reader. What do I read? I read books. Books are to me pure magic, festive, curious, and full of other lives and voices and quiet existences raised to the point of exuberance and excitement. Books portray and unearth characters who are perfectly ordinary to begin with and become extraordinary. Books reveal to me the world as it is and sometimes as it ought to be. I pity those who are getting into the habit of reading a book on a computer. They do not know the pleasure you receive of severing and savoring the typeface and the solid binding and the feel of well-made paper. When you read a book, there's no danger of seeing green pixels against a black background. And you do not hear and see, or mushrooms tumbling out of the upper margins of the screen. Books are the only testament of humanity to human beings. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now living in a devastatingly tortuous period. I can offer you no words of wisdom that can mitigate the angst and the anguish we are surrounded in. I can only hold on to my own belief that work is life, and there's no point to life other than work. I thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Mohyuddin. May I please request the Chancellor to present a memento to Mr. Mohyuddin as a token of our gratitude for his presence this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next main event of the evening, the culmination of a 4-year journey. We commence the degree awarding ceremony and present to you the graduating students of Dhanani School of Science and Engineering 2022. May I request President Mr. Wasif Rizvi to please confer the degrees to the graduating students. May I request the University Registrar to assist. We begin with the graduates of Electrical Engineering. Abdullah Hassan Amir. Abiha Ejaz Jafri. Ehsan Ali. Ali Waqar. Binesh Fatima Basatia. Danial Saeed. Hamad Ahmad Siddiqui. Khawaja Ghulam Alamdar. He is also the recipient of the Dean's Medal in the Electrical Engineering program. कुलदीप, लारेब आफ्ताब जैदी, मलीहा बतूल जतोई, मरियम सिद्दीकी, मेहदी रजा खुरासानी, मोहम्मद अबरार सुहेल, मोहम्मद अबीर सुहेल, मोहम्मद अमार खान, मोहम्मद हुजैफा, मोहम्मद इजलाल, मोहम्मद शहीर आलम, मोहम्मद उमर अनवर, नेहा फैसल, निर्मल आडवाणी, रमीन मुबीन अहमद, रशना खान, रुमैसा शोएब, सैयद हमाद मुख्तार, सैयद हमजा जुनेद, सैयद मोहम्मद अली रिजवी, rounding up the electrical engineering graduates is Zuhaib Zia. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the graduating class from the Computer Science program, beginning with Aaron Lucas Suarez. Abdul Wadood Khan, Afan Amir Mir, Agha Sayyid Nasir Mahmood Azimi, Ayman Haq, Ayman Junaid, Ali Haider Rizvi. Ali Hamza. Altaf Sheikh. Anand Kumar. Arham Ahmed. Arham Ishtiaq. Bahzad Ahmed Badvi. Farah Naz Khan. Ghani Haider. Haris Kareem Lathani. Hassan Naseem. Hassam Zahir Bhatt. Hunain Ali Raza. Khubaib Naeem Kasbati. Maaz Arshad Shaheen. Maaz Saeed. Maham Shoaib Patel. Maheen Anis. Maheen Khan. Maheen is the recipient of the Dean's Medal. Maheen is also the recipient of the President's Medal. Mueedul Huda Qadri. Muhammad Ammar. Muhammad Faizan Qazi. Muhammad Faraz Uzair. Muhammad Huzaifa Haider. Muhammad Jazib. Muhammad Munawwar Anwar. Muhammad Nofil Haroon. मोहम्मद सबीहुल हसन, मोहम्मद सलमान आबिद, मोहम्मद उसैद रहमान, मुर्तज़ा फैसल शफी, मुजम्मिल तारिक, नेहा मुमताज, नेहा मोमिन, निमरा जावेद, उमैमा अहमद, उवैस बिन असद, काजी मोहम्मद तलहा, रबिया आतिफ, रिदा जाहिद खान, साद अहमद खान, सलमान मोहम्मद यूनुस, सारा महमूद, सारा, शम्सुल आरफीन, स्वालेहा, स्वालेहा सलीम, सैयद अमार मेहदी, सैयद अनस अली, सैयद हमाद अली, सैयद मोहम्मद अब्बास हैदर, सैयद मोहम्मद अमार आलम, सैयद मोहम्मद फसी हुसैन, सैयद मोहम्मद हमजा, सैयद मोहम्मद अब्दुल्ला आरिफ, सैयद सफ़ी हैदर रज़वी, Sayyida Zainab Fatima. Tasbiha Asim. Salma. Uzair Ahmad Khoso. Warisha Khan. For better photographs, I call onto stage again Afan Amir Mir. Rounding up the CS cohort for 2022, Abdul Wadood Khan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the graduating students of School of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences 2022. May I request our President, Mr. Wasif Rizvi, to please confer the degrees to the graduating students. May I request the University Registrar to assist. We will begin with the graduates of Social Development and Policy. Amina Rafiq. Alina Nagi. Arisha Rehan. Aisha Mansoor. Aska Rehan. Bakhtavar Shafi. Batul Tasneem. Danial Ahmed Siddiqui. Faizan Fareed Jasani. Fiza Fatma. Farzeen Fareed. Harman Ahmer. Haya Habib Musa. Hiba Shoaib. Hamna Sadia Saeed. Hunaina Khan. Imara Zulfikar Ali. Isba Premji. Ismail Sharik Ahmed. Javeria Tawfiq. Kahuda Suleiman. Markha Mushtaq Hussain. Mehek Rathore. Michelle Birgiz Khan. Mohammad Abdul Rahim Mehta. Muiza. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Akib Yusuf. Muhammad Ashar Khan. Muhammad Hamza Raza. Nabil Lal. Neha Khatri. Rafia Imad. Rimla Kamar. She is also the recipient of the Dean's Medal for Social Development and Policy. Ruqayya Habib. Rumesa Iqbal. Sabah Hussain. Sania Kareem. Sara Intikhab. Sara Jahangir. Sara Nasreen Anwar. Shavez Gilani. Shanze Ishtiyaq. Shazwin Sayyid Ali. Shahriyar Aslam. Sidra Salim. Syed Fareed Ahmed. Sayyida Fatma Hashmi. Sayyida Ifra Fahim. Sayyida Zara Batul. Ubaidullah Jamal. Umama Ishtiyaq Ahmed Qadri. Zainab Nasir. Zara Imran. Zara Rahman. Zehra Shafqat. Now we will confer the degrees to the graduates of Communication and Design. Ayman Noman. She is also the recipient of the Dean's Medal for Communication and Design. Ariba Rafi. Aisha Rahman. Bhavna Kamal Lohana. Isha Iftikhar Qazi. Elsa Mubashir Sajad. Iman Sohail. Faiza Adnan. Fatma Naushad Akhai. Fatma Nuren. Hafsa Mahmood Alam. Hana Hashim Gatta. Hassan Khan Sherwani. Ibrahim Ali Alawi. Ifra Yusuf. Imran Hussain. Junaid Mir. Kinza Irfan. Maham Zafar Khan. Mahanur Nadeem. Manahil Siddiqui. Maria Khan. Maryam Asif. Maryam Javed. Maryam Aslam Bawani. Muhammad Ehsan. Muhammad Hamad Amir Lon. Munira Javed Qazi. Muskan Mujahid. Nisma Abbasi. Sameen Isfahani. Sara Ahmed. Sara Kirmani. Shanze Kaleem. Sharyar Raza Haji. Sayyid Amar Ali Bukhari. Sayyida Fazila Mubashir. Sayyida Natasha Rasool. Sayyida Taha Murtaza Ali. Umama Leghari. Yusuf Salimwala. Yusra Shahab. Yusra Sheikh. Zainul Abidin on Ali Salim. Zainab Tanveer Khan. Zerlasht Malik. Zinia Amin.
Class of 2022, congratulations. May I please request Dr. Amir Hassan, Interim Vice President, Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, to please come on stage to announce the recipient of the Chancellor's Yosin Medal. May I request the Chancellor to please confer the medal.
Chancellor Rafiq M. Habib, members of the Board of Governors, Board of Directors, President Rizvi, deans, faculty, and staff of the university, guests and students. Once again, good evening and adab. First of all, congratulations to all the graduates of this evening. It's my great pleasure to announce this year's Chancellor's Yosin Medal. This medal is awarded to a graduating student who has not only excelled academically, but who has embodied the university's philosophy of Yosin by demonstrating self-cultivation in 5 key areas. These are: strive for excellence, do what is beautiful in all actions, nurture passion, respect all others, and last but not the least, to serve the community. I'm proud to announce that the recipient of the class of 2022 Chancellor's Yosin Medal, who exemplifies Habib's Yosin values, is Muhammad Ashar Khan, a graduate of the Social Development and Policy Program.
Not here?
This shows that the medal was truly a surprise. He might have stepped out. So we'll request the Assistant Dean from School of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences to receive the Yosin's Medal for Muhammad Ashar Khan.
Thank you, Chancellor. May I please request you to address the gathering?
It's a pity that the winner of the medal didn't know he was winning. So after he got his degree, he seems to have stepped out. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Members of the Board of Governors, distinguished members of the Habib University Foundation, President Wasif Rizvi, deans, faculty, staff of the university, parents, graduates, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a great privilege and honor for me to be here today. We are humbled and deeply grateful to Allah for giving us this opportunity. It is so nice to see all of you all here today, and it's a privilege. I would now like to address the parents. I'd like to thank you all particularly for trusting us with the education of your child. I hope you are pleased with the results and are as proud of them as we are here today. To our faculty, I have to thank you through such trying times when you had to conduct classes online and then back again. Your dedication and service is greatly appreciated. I would be failing in my duty if I did not recognize our donors. Without them, none of this would be possible. Our Board of Governors, through all this time, they have guided us and inspired us to help improve the standard of our university. Thank you. I would be failing if I would not recognize President Rizvi for his vision and adapting to the challenges, motivating the class and the faculty, and holding it all together through difficult times. I now would like to address you, the students. This is your day. Dear class of 22, congratulations on your achievement. Despite the many challenges, you adapted to the changing circumstance. We are proud of you. I know you will make your impact and embark on your journey for the rest of your life equipped with Roshan values, with the Roshan values. Finally, I always leave you with some guiding principles and advice. Always live your life with the truth. There's never the right time to tell a lie, and there is never a wrong time to tell the truth. Live your life by these values, and time will guarantee your success in life. I know that all of you are anxious to go out and make your mark in the world, inshallah, with Allah's grace and blessings. I wish you all the success. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Chancellor. May I request you to please stay on stage. The parents of Muhammad Ashar Khan are here, and even though he couldn't make it, we would invite his mother, Mrs. Khan, to please come on stage and receive the medal on behalf of the Yosin Award Medal 2022 from the Program Social Development and Policy. Ladies and gentlemen, the parents of Muhammad Ashar Khan, winner of the Yosin Award 2022.
Thank you, Chancellor. The Habib Anthem is representative of the aspirations of the students of the university. The anthem has been written by Mr. Inamullah Nadeem, a faculty member at Habib University, and is being performed by the Habib University Choir.
चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं क्या चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं हम इल्म के मुसाफिर हम इल्म के मुसाफिर हम इल्म का शजर हैं क्या चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं मैदान इल्म फन में पाएंगे कामयाबी मैदान इल्म फन में पाएंगे कामयाबी हो जाएंगे हमारे दिन रात महताबी हो जाएंगे हमारे दिन रात महताबी ठहरेगी जिस पे दुनिया हम ऐसी राह गुजर हैं हम इल्म के मुसाफिर हम इल्म का शजर हैं क्या चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं मतलब नहीं हो जिससे वो राह छोड़ देंगे मतलब नहीं हो जिससे वो राह छोड़ देंगे रुख वक्त की हवा का हम खुद ही मोड़ देंगे हम नूरे आगही नग़्माए सहर हैं हम इल्म के मुसाफिर हम इल्म का एहसान हुस्न हसन दस्तूर है हमारा। मंजिल से काफिला भी कब दूर है हमारा। मुसाफिर हम इल्म का शजर हैं, क्या चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं। क्या चांद क्या सितारे इनसे भी मोतबर हैं।
May I request the Chancellor, Mr. Rafiq M. Habib, to declare the convocation closed.
I declare the 2022 Habib University Convocation as closed. Thank you. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will now depart. May I please request you to stay seated until the entire academic procession has departed. May I request all the graduates to gather back on stage once the guests have proceeded to dinner for their customary cap-throwing photograph.